Are you having trouble reaching your sponsor, having them answer a question that you have or help you address an issue? It's not because they don't like you. It's probably because they're really busy and probably they don't know how big a challenge you're facing. How do you fix that? Well, the first thing is, do you really have a problem? Don't waste their time. You need to figure out what options you have to solve the problem and if they're in your span of control. And if they are, figure it out. You need to be the person that when you send out a message to your sponsor or your manager or your leader, they pick up the phone or they turn around and respond as fast as they possibly can because they know you aren't wasting their time. When you call, it's something important that they need to be on it. How do you get there? The way you get there is by building that trust in your capability and competence in your sponsor and your leaders. And the way you do that is you have this problem that you're facing, clarify it as simply as possible. What are the levers that you have available to you to correct the issue? What is the core of the issue? What are the options to address the issue? So come up with 2 or 3, or even just one option for addressing the issue and do a quick evaluation, whether it's viable, whether it's reasonable, and determining if there's any other barriers or risks. Bring your team together to help you in figuring out what the options are. Brainstorm. That's what a leader does. You don't do it by yourself. You gotta do it with your team. Pick the right people from your team. If you don't know who from your team, then bring them all in. Or talk to one of your trusted colleagues on your team or outside your team about who should be involved in helping you flesh out brainstorming options for this. Then evaluate those options, which are the most likely to succeed and which appear to be the best option to implement. Then you need to create a communication for your sponsor or leader, whoever your next level up is, to address this. And it might be the whole steering committee, but you need to get in front of your sponsor or leader, probably the sponsor, if it's the sponsor's help that you need. And then you need to lay out simply the message. And I had a client recently that was struggling in exactly the same situation, and they had done a fabulous job of creating this email that was a brilliant essay on the background, the options, what led up to this, some of the key points, inflection points or mistakes that happened in the organization to be a catalyst for this issue popping up at this late stage in the project. And I looked at it and it was a beautiful piece of writing, but that's all it was. Most executives or leaders will not read that. They won't have the time. And if they look at the title, the subject, or the first few lines on their phone, or even in their email inbox, and if they don't have the message clearly articulated there in the first couple of lines, or absolutely in the subject line, they're going to open it up and think, wow, I don't have time to go through this. It sort of looks important. I can't tell, but there's some other things that I definitely do need to get to. And I'm not sure if this is that. I'll just see it. I'll get to it when I get to it. But if they really need me, they'll escalate harder. They'll try harder to get my attention. And unfortunately, that's the way decisions or attention gets directed sometimes. And it's not that it's right or wrong. It's the way people process information, and you are processing information and determining what things are important. And you have to make sure that you clearly articulate that message. So what I had the client do is I said, what is the problem? Where is it in here? And so they had listed a number of different problems. And then so we went through a process of, are these the actual problem, or are these the symptoms of the problem, or are these the cause of the problem? Well, it looked beautiful, but as you delved into this big email, it wasn't clear about what was what. Clearly, there was a problem. Clearly, there was an impact that was described. It was just painful to read. I mean, if you really tried to read it, when you looked at it, it looked structurally beautiful into long form text and narrative. But if you tried to decipher it, and imagine you're a leader and you're trying to look at your phone between meetings and see if there's anything urgent you need to respond to. And you have lots of things that, every day in your inbox, there are lots of urgent things and important things and critical things, and you have to decipher them. And if you have an assistant or an AI that's bringing those to the top, great. But even with that, there's just the volume. And so those leaders have to look at their message inflow and figure out which things do they tackle first, which are the most important. And your job is to help them figure that out. When you're asking for their help, you need to be clear. You need to be articulate. And so these are the questions I asked my client. I said, okay, is this informational? Let's start with the subject of the email. Is this informational? Are you just letting them be aware that this is a problem that is on the horizon, that you are managing it, and it is currently under your control and your direction, that you are working through this issue? And you just want to make them aware, because again, leaders don't like surprises. No one does. And so if it's keeping them informed that here's something going on right now that you're dealing with, great. So let's say that this is just a status update or an informational email, and put that in the subject, and you put the topic. It's XYZ project, important issue update. And that's it. And then in the body of the note, the elevator statement about what the issue is and what you are doing. I'm currently working on this. I'll reach out to you if I need any help. Here's my action plan that I'm taking, very high level. Here's the things I'm planning to go talk to this team or that team, and I have talked to this team and this team. We'll keep you posted and let you know if I need your assistance or if I need your guidance or guidance. Short and sweet. People love that. And if they read that and they go, you know what, I think the path they're going down is not the right one, they might pick up the phone or reply back to your note, say, Mary, I don't think that you're going down the right path. I just want to help you get to this faster. Or I heard this other thing in my leadership meeting that might impact this issue. And so they will respond back and say, okay, no, you can't go talk to them. They're no longer involved in this project, or whatever the case may be. But you're providing information to them. You're telling them that you don't foresee that you need their help now, but keeping them informed. And here's your action plan, and letting them decide. So you're not asking them for anything. If you do need help, and if it's important, or if it's critical or urgent, you need to say that in the subject: important or urgent or critical, and then say your assistance required, or put the word escalation. You need to do it consistently. So when you're asking for action, you're going to have this format. You're going to say, here's the problem. Here's how you can help me. And then below that, you can go into the background and you can say, here's more detail about the problem. Here's the things I've done so far, and they have yielded no success. And again, restate what I'm planning to do next and how I need your help. I need you to contact so-and-so and ask them for this, or to approve this thing, or to whatever it is. Or here's my action plan. You're asking for approval. And the approval might be, I'm planning to call a special meeting outside of the normal steering committee. These are the executives I need to have in the meeting so that we can discuss this issue and get a decision on which option we're going to proceed with to deal with the issue. You can elaborate what types of analysis you've completed so far. They might be very preliminary, and you just have to state that in the detail. But remember, at the very top, you have the problem, and 2, how they can help you. And that makes it very clear. And if it piques their interest and they think, yeah, I need a bit more information, they can go through your analysis, which has a restatement of the problem. It has a detailed description of the background, more details about the analysis and options that you've considered to address the issue, and then recap with a conclusion and recommended action. It's a very straightforward standard model, and you can have 3 or 4 sentences, or it can be quite elaborate. But the key part is at the top, where it's a mini executive summary. It's got the problem and what you need. Here's a pro tip. If your action plan calls for communication from your executive or sponsor, then draft that communication, whether it's an email or a voice call. Put together a draft, outline, again, straight, short, simple, and send that along with the question, do you want to send this message or make this phone call, or would you prefer me to do it? Here's a draft. It's a game changer. Trust me. I've spent over 20 years leading and delivering complex projects. If you're ready to lead better and deliver faster, hit the link and let's talk.